Okay, well, it's mounted on here. First things first, that one's stripped right out. I didn't strip it. I tried to tighten it, and it just won't turn in there. So it was already stripped. That one, so the rest, I went easy on tightening them. Once I get it exactly where I want, I'm going to Loctite them all, because a lot of people commented on yesterday's videos that the screws back out. They fall out all the time. Here's another piece of tube they sent, and then they sent that one small sleeve there. Maybe I should have put this whole thing in there instead of that smaller one. I'll probably change that out. But anyway, that's dumb. Almost every weed whacker is the same diameter. Why wouldn't you just make this piece that size instead of throwing in rubber hose? That's kind of half-assing it, in my opinion. But anyway, it's on there. It feels kind of weird, but I think it's definitely something I can get used to, and it definitely does make you stand up taller. So I don't know. We'll try it out and we'll see what happens. But I don't like this whole setup here at all. I wish this was steel instead of aluminum, but being aluminum, it does make it a heck of a lot lighter. So we'll see what happens.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light...
Alright, if you watched yesterday's video, this is what I was talking about. I had one to do today. It's obviously Saturday morning. This is my front yard, the brick and blue house, and the white house obviously is my neighbor. And she has, for her daughter, she's having a bridal shower party today. So I usually mow her lawn on Mondays when I do mine, and then 4 other neighbors right here on my street. So she asked me if I could do it this morning because she's having that get together today. So usually I'm on the walker again, you know, mowing these properties, and I bag ours all the time just to make it look great. I have some customers that drop checks off to my house sometimes, and I just like my yard to look good in the front anyway. But as you guys know, you know, there's no walker for me right now. There's no sitting down on any mowers, and my back is still killing me. But even bouncing around on this old Great Dane with no suspension is still 10 times better. I'm still fine on it versus sitting down on a machine. So you never can tell in videos. Those of you guys that make videos all the time, you know that. There could be piles of grass laying here and you wouldn't even see it on camera. It just doesn't show up. But that's not the case here. It is probably 4 inches or so tall, and I'm cutting it down to 3 inches. And then I will go over it in a second with the accelerator bagger on. I really do love that thing. You know, I mean, the only downfall I find to the accelerator bagger is, well, there's 2 actually. One, it makes the mower a lot wider, which being on the Walker MT, you know, I don't have to deal with that. There's no side hanging grass catcher, no side hanging turbine like on the 0 turns. It's just all the same size mower. And the other one is it doesn't hold as much grass. The accelerator is a 6.2, and the Walker, I believe, is a 10, 9.5, 10, whatever they rate it at, bushel. But so I'm knocking it out, getting this done, and it's beautiful this morning. It's like 67 degrees out, nice cool breeze, and it's not really supposed to get much hotter than that today. This week's going back up into the 70s and then some 80s, but not really anything real hot. The dew point is staying down, the humidity is staying down, so you know, it's nice. I love this time of year because of the weather. I like doing leaves, so that kind of work is just a little extra added, a little break up from just the continuous mowing grass. See how easy I flip that thing around? I mean, just so simple. They weigh nothing. It is so insanely light, it's ridiculous. But so now I'm just going to cruise over it and pick up the little bits of grass that are laying there. There's not much at all. Over on her side, you can't see in the camera, but there's some leaves laying there. So I'm just picking up everything that is there. Some people may ask, why didn't I just throw the accelerator on from the beginning? And I'll tell you, one way that I've always done it, back in the day when all I had was grass catchers, the steel ones, my old accelerator, things like that. If you mow the yard first and then you throw the grass catcher on and go over it, you don't need to pick up nearly as much grass because a lot of it falls down in and mulches in. So it's still good for the grass. You're still getting some of that residual falling down in, which will break down and help fertilize the grass naturally. But you know, the main reason I do it is because it doesn't pick up as much. Now, if I had left that grass catcher on right from the beginning, it would have been full easily. But doing it now, I mow this entire front yard with that grass catcher on, and it wasn't even half full, and the yard still looked perfect, like I had bagged it right from the beginning. So that's why I do it the way that I do. It just makes things so much easier. And sometimes I do that as well with the Walker MT. If there's a lot of grass there, it's really thick or really tall, and I know I'm gonna have to bag it a lot, and it's not a place I can dump on site, so I know I got to throw it up in the back of the truck. I will go over it with either the back door open on the MT and let it disperse, or I'll mow it with whatever other mower I have with me at the time, the Walker B with side discharge, the Ferris, or this Great Dane here, and then I will go over it with the Walker MT. And I don't, you know, if I would have filled the Walker up twice on that lawn, I'll only fill it up once, or maybe half or 3/4. And it makes a world of difference. It just makes life a lot easier. So, you know, that's how I like to do it. So here we are with the Darwin Grip. This stuff gets pretty tall back here around my chicken coop. I only do it like once a month. I knock it down because it kind of freaks my chickens out, and I don't like to terrorize them too much. So I'm just going along with it here, and I'm gonna do a little spot after this where I talk about it, you know, not just me doing the narration like I'm doing now, but actual me talking about my thoughts and opinions on this. But you know, I will tell you, I'm a big fan. I pray to God this thing holds up, and I pray to God that it works the way that they say it's gonna. But I'll tell you what, if it falls apart, you guys know me, I am all about fabrication, and I will design my own. If this falls apart, I will not order another one. The second one I ordered, it still hasn't come in yet. They said they both shipped yesterday, and I emailed them again, and yet again, no response. But if this does fall apart, I will not be ordering another one. I will fabricate my own. But it's definitely, I don't think it's something I can go back to, not having this on there now. Okay, my thoughts. I love it. I love it. That thing's pretty awesome. They're not kidding. They're not kidding. It really does make you stand up straighter with no effort at all. Like you're not even forcing yourself to stand up straighter. It's pretty awesome. I hope it holds up the way they say. I hope that I hope them bolts don't come loose. I just threw it back in my trailer for now. I will, before I go out mowing Monday, I will Loctite them all, I hope, if I don't forget. I should just do it now because I know I'm going to forget, but I'll just get the thing of Loctite out and I'll just set it out so I remember. But, yeah, it definitely, wow, instantly I felt like it, I instantly felt like I was standing up straighter and I felt better. My back felt better than it normally does when I trim. And a lot of people said it takes some getting used to. I didn't think so at all. It's like it felt so natural. It really did. I didn't think it took anything to get used to. It was almost like, you know, like this is how I've been doing it forever. It seemed like, you know, it took me a lot longer to get used to the Edge-It Pro than that thing, which, you know, I still use the Edge-It Pro and I have a lot of edging to do. You guys know I don't use an edger. I use my trimmer. So but when I have a lot to do, I use the Edge-It Pro, and that does take a lot to get used to.
But that's a whole nother thing. This didn't take anything to get used to, I don't think. I guess it's different for everybody. You know, some people have a little harder of a time adapting to certain things, but I think it's awesome. So, man, they had a great idea, a great product. I can't believe nobody's come out with it sooner, but as far as how that it mounts onto the trimmer, like I said, the trimmers are all the same size, man. I don't know why they made it so they have to send you pieces of rubber hose to put in there to fill in for the difference, and that just seems ridiculous to me. Why not just make it one size and mount it on there? I mean, you know, and it's not even so much as too big, because you can tighten them bolts down. Well, it's too big diameter, but it's also oblong shape. It's not like an actual perfect circle, which a trimmer would be. I mean, I don't know why that wasn't considered while making it, but you know, whatever. I guess it just come out, so there will be improvements on the next models, I'm sure. But I love it, so let's hope it lasts.